to go through this review for our quiz tomorrow. Since I have a cross-country meet today, I just want to have a little video review. So we're going to use a number line to solve each problem. -4 plus 10, what I would like to do then is start at 0, draw my arrow to -4. Then I'm going to do an add 10, so I go that direction. So if you think about that, I would be going back 4, which is this distance, plus 6 more to make the 10, which means my final answer here would be 6. So that would be a simple number line model. This next one, starting at 0, I'm going to move 0 over here. I'm going to go -4. And I'm subtracting 8. So when I subtract a positive number, I just head to the left 8 units. And so if this is 4 units and that's 8 units altogether, I'm at -12 units. So no matter what the numbers are, you can use the same number line, you just have to do different spacing. So if I'm looking at -34 and then going 51 lower, I'm going to have to just space out appropriately. So this would be my -34. So 51 would be a longer arrow, and since I'm subtracting, I would go to the left. And then, since this is 34 units, and that's 51 units, I'm essentially just adding up those two values. And I know that I'm in the negative side of the number line, so it's a -85. And then this last one, if I start at 0 and I go to -34, if I subtract 51, I would go this way, but it's subtracting the opposite of 51, so I would have to flip over and go that way. So that 51, this is 51 units, and this is 34 units, and since they're going in opposite directions, I have to do a subtraction problem. And when I do that, I get 17, and I'm to the right of 0, so my answer is 17. And here it was 85, -85, and here it was -12, and this is +17. So those are number line sketches. So what I'm going to do now is just pause and let you do number 2 yourself and just check your answers so you're not watching such a very long video. Okay, so if you're looking at those numbers, you're very confused, that would be a good reason to come into the morning help session tomorrow at 7:45. Now we're going to focus on graphing an inequality. Remember, if you have a symbol that's a greater than or a less than, you use an open circle. But if you have a symbol that's a greater than or equal to, or a less than or equal to, you use a closed circle. So I think of it as greater than and then shading in for the OE or equal to part. So we read this as x is greater than 2. So mark your 0. Go over and identify where 2 would be. Make an open circle. And you're shading everything bigger than 2. So your picture would look something like that. Since this next problem here, we'll just call this A. So since part B is x is less than or equal to 4, now when I go to 4, I say less than or equal to. So I shade it in because it has both the inequality and the other line. and I want all numbers that are less than or equal to 4, so I'm going to shade that way. This one, I'm going to space out my numbers to be like this. So this is my 0, and this is my 1. So x is less than 1.5, that would be right here. This would be like 0.5. So less than 1.5 would be everything here with an open circle. So this is kind of advanced here. Focusing on only for kids that are really feeling confident. It's 2 parts. So x is bigger than 0, which would be everything to the right, or x is less than -4. So here's -4, that would be everything to the left. Both open circles. This is kind of medium advanced. We read this as x is between 0 and -5. But it's bigger than, so it's very hard to read that way. Another way to think of it is put the -5 first, and since the little pointy part is pointing to the 5, rewrite it like this. This is also pretty advanced. So x is bigger than -5. So we're going to put -5 here, and it's bigger, but it's also bigger than or equal to. So we fill it in, -4, -3, -2, -1. So here would be 0. I'm going to make that dot a little smaller so we can actually see better. So bigger than or equal to would be closed, but less than or equal to 0, closed, and everything in between, shaded. And this last one, same idea. X is, I'm going to count by 2's, make that a -3. Make that a +3. So x is bigger than -3, but less than or equal to +3. So it's shading everything in between. I'm going to pause for